Hi, everyone. Happy evening. Welcome to Impact Gospel Radio. I am Charmaine Brown and I am blessed to be here with you this evening on mental health, a holistic impact. And so, for all those people who normally join, welcome back. I appreciate you. And for my new viewers, we welcome you with an open arms, with both arms open. Welcome. Most of us are wondering, what is this program about? I'm just going to give you a small synopsis because we want to get into the program because it's going to be an interesting program this evening. So what we do here, like everyone, almost everyone who are in their right frame of mind, from birth until death, God forbid, have problems in their life. They have stressful moments where some can handle the problems effectively, efficiently with their coping mechanism, and some need a little bit of help for us to get back to the balance where we can balance our life, where we can live happy, where we can function well within ourselves, for our kids, for our family members, our friends, and those in society. And so when we are off balance, we need a little bit of help. We need help. Some of us are afraid to go to therapy. That's fine. Some of us are afraid to use counselors. That's okay. But we need to know that mental health illnesses is like physical and emotional illnesses. If we don't get help for them, then we are out of sync. And so, as a licensed, certified psychotherapist, I'm here. I provide stories from my life. I provide experiences. I come with you with the Raymond family saga, where it's a normal family unit. Each family members face their own saga, their own dilemma, their own problems, and how they turn around and use their coping skills, use their mechanisms to help themselves or they seek help. I come to you with that as well. I also provide interviews with impactful people in community that some of us don't know about, but they are doing significant work in our communities significantly. And so this program will highlight these people, the passion they have for their work, and how they impact other person's life so that persons can become positive members of society. That's what this program is about. It's easy, eh? If it was easy, we would be on a plane going to one of those Caribbean islands to go relax. So we have a very impactful person this evening. And remember, this is Impact Gospel Radio, and we are all over the place. We're on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter, and other platforms. I want to introduce you to a lovely person who is very impactful in the community. She is hardworking. She holds a Bachelor of Social Work degree. She is employed as a hospital social worker who specializes in geriatrics, crisis management, trauma response, and recovery from developmental perspective. She is a lifelong member of the Salvation Army and volunteer. She has volunteer experience in various aspects of ministry, including youth ministries. You know, many youth ministries are available and that impact youth to become impactful people in society. So she's a member, she volunteer in youth ministry and she's also a chairperson in the ministry board. Her hobbies include crafting, spending time with families and friends. Let us welcome Leslie Blair tonight on our program.
Hi.
Welcome, Leslie. It's beautiful to have you here. I know you're a very impactful person. I know that you do a lot for community. I know even me myself learn what social work entails because my knowledge at the time was so minute. I didn't know the vast impact of how your job and you having passion in what you do help others. Welcome to our program. We are glad to have you. How long have you been practicing as a social worker?
Well, first, thank you so much for the warm welcome, and to you and your listeners for having me. I've been a social worker in our community for 24 years, actually. Yeah.
Wow. It means that you have seen a lot within those 24 years because if you go to work 5 days a week, 8 hours per day times 25 years, can you imagine the vast knowledge that you have and the vast impact that you have made in the community around us and persons who need? I am happy to have you and your
Thank you.
knowledge. How is it about social work that motivates you to continue practice for so long? Like after some persons, after they practice 5 years and all those trauma hit them, they just said, you know what, enough of this. I need something else. What motivates you to continue for so long?
I think it's knowing I've made a difference, and certainly you've mentioned that you've learned a lot about social work and teaching other people about social work, having social work students. It can be just making a difference every day and hearing from people that the information I gave them helped them in some way. So just those moments, those aha moments. I love those aha moments, whether they be mine or someone else's, but having the privilege of helping someone through those and finding solutions or resources to help them. That makes all the difference to me, is knowing I've made even just an iota of a difference, because it's them that have to make the changes. And if I can just walk with them and hear them and help them to feel listened to and understood, then I've done my job.
Okay. So what I'm hearing is that the haha moment, with these haha moment, is this what you use to measure your success in the practice, or is it more than that?
Um, the aha moments are definitely beneficial, but it's seeing the joy on people's faces that, um, they're able to overcome something, or seeing the relief on their faces that I've heard them and they feel heard and validated, and um, just knowing that they have a little stepping stone towards whether it be recovery or healing or processing something, then I've helped them do that. So
I get you. I get you. Um, what I want to know is, in your biography, it mentions specialties such as geriatrics, crisis management, trauma response, and recovery from developmental perspective. It's a mouthful. Can you explain to our audience so that
sure,
our audience are better understand
for
what
sure.
all this mouthful is about?
So geriatrics definitely helping our older adults. I think that sometimes we undervalue their stories, or we don't listen to the wisdom and the knowledge they have and that they can teach us as younger generations. with trauma response and recovery, crisis management, being part of responding to a crisis, but then helping people process the trauma afterwards. And I believe strongly that you need to try to deal with something as soon as possible, because as you well know, if you don't deal with something right away or begin the process of trying to process all the information and the emotions and things like that, it can take longer to heal. If you are able to do it now versus in the future, if you're doing it in the future, it can sometimes take a longer time. So I'm privileged to be able to meet with people either in the moment or shortly after a crisis and help them with processing information, and hopefully have a positive impact so that they can move through the recovery process a little bit more quickly.
Thank you for that explanation,
You're
Leslie.
welcome.
We're going to take a break and we will be right back to just follow up with all that she said and highlight what she said. We will be right back. Welcome back, everyone. I am Charmaine Brown, and I am blessed to be here with you tonight on Impact Gospel Radio. This is Mental Health, a holistic impact, where we provide resources for you to use within your life with whatever problem you're having, whatever stress you're having that is throwing you off balance. We want to provide that information for you. We have with us Leslie Blair, who is a registered social worker, and she has a lot of information for you. So I want you to listen not only to what I have said, because what Leslie said before was that when you deal with the problem immediately, it prevents that trauma to take place in our life, where it takes us longer to get over that problem, where it affects our life for a longer period of time, where it affects our family, our friends, our neighbors, even strangers. So the faster you deal with the problem, the better it is for you. So welcome again, Leslie. What are the different problems and issues you address in your clientele? For instance, homelessness, family dynamics. What are the different issues you meet as you in your daily practice?
It can be any number of issues that a patient may have, or if I'm doing anything in a private practice setting, can be any number of issues, homelessness, addictions, financial issues, family dynamics, paneling for personal care home or long-term care. It can be any number of issues, grief and loss, being there when someone has passed away and helping the family cope with it, and touching on what you were saying about reducing the trauma and things like that. So any number of issues. In reality, it's just, if I don't know the answer, then I direct them to someone who would know the information or be able to help them better than I can. And social work is kind of also a gateway in that respect, where I can't solve all these problems. I can't help people with every single problem because I don't have the expertise, but then it's pointing them in the right direction to help them find the help that they deserve and the help that they need.
Okay. So your clientele, are they more accepting? Are there more people from different culture, people from different practices that are more accepting to social work help? Do you find that different culture shy away, or the pride might stop them, or just once they hear about social work, they will come and get that help?
I think it depends on more so the person than it does the culture or the background or one's history necessarily. I think anyone can be resistive to receiving help. It's a very vulnerable position to be in. And whoever's open to receiving the help and open to talking about it or addressing it, or even starting to think about getting help, meeting people where they're at, whether it be with regards to a trauma, or they're thinking of changing, such as an addiction, and stopping trying to seek treatment. It's meeting people where they're at and seeing how we can help them move forward. And similar to what you said earlier about, some of the stories you've shared on the program and the things that you've been through, I believe every life is a story, every life is a book. And we have the chapters that have already been written, we have the chapter that we're currently in, and we have the chapters that have yet to be written. So just meeting people where they are, helping them through the current chapter, whatever that be, and helping them as they go forward to hopefully thrive and succeed and be connected with appropriate resources.
It sounds like the complexity of the users of your program, the addiction, the depression, anxiety, the complexity of the user. How do you provide the resources? How difficult it is to provide care for these people?
First and foremost, it's important for me to listen and to understand what a person is going through. It's not that I have all the answers. It's not that I need to, give them all the answers and tell them what needs to happen. It's sometimes just meeting people where they're at and pointing them in the right direction, or saying, here's some additional options that you might not have been aware of. But especially feeling heard and validated. I think a lot of us lack that in our lives. We just want people to hear us and to say, I understand, even if it can't be changed, even if it can't be, remedied, or, I'd love to take some situations away from people so that it just make it better. But just helping them feel understood, I think, is such a powerful aspect of social work. So just hearing and listening and saying, so I understand, it's so impactful in that respect.
So I normally tell my client, attentive listening, very important.
Yes.
Don't assume that you know what the person is talking about. Clarify what the person is talking about. Let the person feel validated and heard. We are going to take another break, and when we come back, we are going to go into the nitty-gritty, okay? Welcome back, everyone. I am Charmaine Brown, and I am blessed to be here with you this evening. Impact Gospel Radio, mental health, a holistic impact, where Gospel Radio, as you heard me spoke about it before in other shows, the owner, the builder, what he does is use his own resources to provide lots of resources into the community for community members to access. There are lots and lots. Just get into it. Mental Health Horizon.com is a site, or is a company where there are psychotherapists, there are nurses, there are people who work into this company to help you. You go to www.mentalhealthhorizon.com or send us information at mentalhealthhorizon.com. We are checking the comment section. I am looking at the private chat, and I am here with you, so my eyes are all over. We have Leslie Blair here, a registered social worker who have a lot of information for us. People, I am trying to get you what you need so that we don't lose along the way into the grassroots where we don't have the resources to help ourselves, because lots of us not going to go to counselors, lots of us not going to seek a psychotherapist like myself. Whole heap of us don't want to talk to our pastors. We hide it from our family members and friends when we are troubled. We don't want to talk to strangers. We lock ourselves away, stay in our bedroom, don't want to go to the washroom, don't want to eat, don't want to sleep. I am bringing the information to you. Listen carefully. Whatever you want to write down, write down. We'll have Leslie. If you want to reach Leslie, you come to this radio station, come to this, and you have any question for her, we'll forward your question and she will respond within 3 to 5 days. You will get your answer. So we are back with Leslie. So I realize that your work is not, it can be individualized as well as you work in a team setting. Who are the team members that allow all these fanciness, these resources, these programs to come into place for all these people who need social work help?
Within the hospital, there's a multidisciplinary team, occupational therapy, physiotherapy, home care, dietary, respiratory therapists, nurses, doctors. There's so many people that I have the privilege of working with. Even spiritual health is in there, and so many different disciplines. I'm probably missing some of them, but we have an amazing team that we can bounce ideas off of each other. Even within the social work department itself, we can bounce ideas off of each other and gain knowledge and skills from each other, because we all have different specializations. We all have different histories, different experiences. So we work together to help a patient and connect. Even beyond that, if you're looking outside of the hospital, then you're looking at community resources and building those connections so that when it comes time to needing some resources, then I know who to call. And I already have their contact information. I can connect a client or a patient with that person or with that resource.
So, people, I want you to know something. I want you to know that I have seen Leslie work. And when you call, trust me, she is there. Like, if she's not there, something probably is going on that needed her attention more. Because you know you have to prioritize people. We all know prioritization, right? And
Yeah.
I'm going to use big words where you're saying, Charmaine, what are you talking about? So let me break it down. And I'm not saying anyone here is stupid and is not knowledgeable and is not vast in their education. I want everybody to understand what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that you might experience a problem, and I said I'm going to call a social worker for you. And I might take up the phone to call a social worker, but the social worker is dealing with something more significant that is a risk of life and death, and so you might not get that social worker immediately. But within 24 hours, that social worker Leslie will be there, and I can vouch for that. I can vouch for that. They work speedily, they come to your assistant, and they ensure that they listen attentively, and they ask you what would you like them to do. And if you don't know what, because sometimes you're so caught up with the problem, because the problem are problems because you allow it to soak into your system, go into your emotion, and you allow that trauma to take set into you like an egg on a frying pan. People understand what I'm saying? Sometimes when you put the egg on the frying pan and you allow it to be hard, then it form already. So you allow that trauma to come in and you think about it and ruminate. It plays on your brain, and when it plays on your brain, it takes set into your life, and now it's hard. So when the social worker come and said, what would you like me to help you with, sometimes you don't even know. And so the social worker, what they do is provide you with lists and answers and resources. So Leslie is one of them. And so I let her talk for herself. How speedily do you assist these people, or people who have problem? How speedily do you respond to a call or an emergency?
Well, like you said, there's definitely prioritization and urgencies, and we have to prioritize who comes first or what situation comes first. A lot of times I'm working on things simultaneously because things can happen that pop up that may take precedence in the moment, but I'm still working with patients and their families to address an issue or help them apply to go to a personal care home. Or it could be, a number of things, providing emotional support. It all just depends. Sometimes it's someone who catches me in the moment and they need help right then. So it all just depends how quickly someone needs help. But certainly I try to get to it as quickly as I can. If I can't get to it and it's urgent because I'm already dealing with another urgent issue, then I reach out to my colleagues, and we're really good at helping each other prioritize and assist each other on our wards so that we can get to people as soon as possible. Even if I can just make some initial contact and say, okay, let's meet again tomorrow and I'll bring some information, that kind of thing.
Okay. So people, if you're out there, there's social worker all around you. There's social worker in Canada. There's social worker in the States. There are social workers that are there to help with social problems. They are there. They are qualified. Some of them are licensed and registered. Do not be afraid. They are there to help you with your social problem. There are times when we have problems where we need health insurance, or we're having pain where we need family members to support us, or we need a group and stuff. The social workers, they are there to help us with that. And so with that, we are going to take a break right now. Welcome back, everyone. I am Charmaine Brown, and I am blessed to be here with you on Impact Gospel Radio, Mental Health, a Holistic Impact. We are here every Monday evening, 6:30 Central Daytime, 7:30 Eastern Daytime. We are located all over. We address everyone. It's not just for a certain group of people, it's for everyone. We are here to help you with your stressful life. Some of us can help ourselves. Some of us need a little boost. Some of us need a little help. Some of us might need spiritual care. Some of us might need a psychotherapist like myself, a social worker. Some of us need help. It's there. We have it to give. You know what? There are times when we think that we need help and we are sure we need help, but we are scared to tell somebody that we need help because we are scared that people are going to talk about us. People are going to see us as weak. People are going to see us as not fit. People are going to see us, whatever the problem is. We are all people. We come with a lot of baggages. We come with a lot of problems. Some of us are able to manage stress at work, stress at play, stress with friends, family, husband, wife, spouse, animals. We have stress, people. Everyone have stress from the birth of the child. When that child come into the world, the cold that hit that child, the different things that this child have to go through until we are elder, where we need help. So do not shy away. Let's get the help we need. I am monitoring our comment section. I am monitoring our email. That's info@mentalhealthhorizon.com. We have a website, www.mentalhealthhorizon.com. It's a program where you ask for help, you seek help, use it, people. We are here giving you the help, and that's good. Don't be shy. Leslie's here with us, and we welcome you. We welcome your vast knowledge. From my standpoint, the processing of intervention can take a while. It depends where you are living. What is the longest time frame in which you have a client?
In a hospital setting, it can be like 10 minutes. It can be hours. It can be months, depending on how long a patient is admitted, or depending on if they've been discharged and come back. And sometimes I can help the same person so that they don't have to re-explain their issues, and we can pick up where we left off, kind of thing. It depends on the person. And I like what you said. Things are, I very much like to practice from a developmental perspective, so that we honor what's happened in the past and how a person has gotten to where they are, but then also building the foundation for future changes and future development. And like you said, a lot of people are scared or nervous about seeking help. And sometimes it's just asking questions. It's seeking the conversation. It doesn't have to be formal therapy necessarily. It can just be, you know what, I need to find out about this, or I need to talk about this, or I'm just having a rough day. It doesn't have to be necessarily some of the things that we think of in society of, full therapy, for example. And it's easy to reach out just to have that conversation, just to get it started. And I like to try to be a safe person that can help in that respect. So that way, I'm pretty down to earth. I like to just relax and talk to the person and see where they're at. Sometimes it's just reframing what they're thinking. And that ties back to what I was saying about the aha moments, where you just realize that you can change a little bit of how you're thinking of something, and then that makes such a difference going forward. So being a part of that is a privilege on my part, but I encourage people to reach out. Those kinds of situations don't necessarily have to happen with a social worker per se. It can happen, like you said, with a psychotherapist. It can happen with a counselor. It can happen with someone that you're already involved with, or, you know, reaching out to a family member or a friend and saying, I'm not okay. And we know from a lot of the mental health resources and advertisements out there that it's okay to say you're not okay. And I think we still have a lot of times where we're nervous, or it's a very vulnerable position to be in, to reach out and say, I'm not okay today. So that's definitely a struggle. But it's also normalizing it too, because tying into what you said about, you know, all the stresses that we have in life, I think in today's society, everything is jam-packed. Everybody's got to be so busy and not have any downtime. And sometimes kids don't learn how to do things independently, or be quiet, or you know how to calm themselves necessarily. And it's not to say it's parenting issue, or it's, you know, a disability. It's just everybody's so busy, and the expectations in society are different than when even we were children, or when our parents and grandparents were children. There was a lot more downtime. There was a lot more independence, I think, we had to learn. Whereas nowadays, the demands, whether it be in school or demands in sports or extracurricular activities, or, you know, just the busyness has increased significantly in our society, which greatly impacts one's ability to manage that stress. So again, just trying to have a natural approach and have that conversation, whoever you feel safe with. Talk to somebody so that you can get the help that you deserve.
I want to ask a question. I know break is coming up, and I want to ask a question. Do you think that the social media have a part in how we access our help? Because you said when in time gone by, the help was different. Now we're looking at a different scenario.
Very much. I think that with any progression in society, there's positives and negatives, or positives and challenges, not necessarily a negative. But with social media, there's a lot of pressure for young people, and, you know, the young person's brain doesn't always understand that the things on the internet are there to stay, and some of the consequences that can come with that. But at the same time, social media has connected us in a way that we never thought possible before. And being able to stay connected with family and friends overseas, or, you know, in different cities or countries, and connecting to resources that we used to only find out through encyclopedias. So having those resources available to us is also priceless.
Amen. We are going to take a break, and when we come back, we are going to wrap up this segment. Welcome back, everyone. I am Charmaine Brown, and I am blessed to be here with you this evening. We are here every Monday evening, 6:30 Central Daytime, 7:30 Eastern Daytime. We're on Impact Gospel Radio with mental health, a holistic impact. It's a show where we give you resources, give you information, bring you stories, and so that you can validate what's going on with your life. We have Leslie Blair with us, a registered social worker with a vast amount of information. And so, Leslie, what I want to ask you, with doing all these things that you do for your clients and other people around, how do you unwind? How do you take that stress? Because when persons are throwing at you problems and sometimes you cannot fix it, you don't know where to go, you make referrals, you make recommendations, but that you think about it, you go home with it. How do you unwind from all these troubles? Give us some pointers so persons out there can unwind when they come home from work and don't feel unwind.
I think it's important to tell someone just what you've experienced that day. And of course, that has to be done confidentially. So with the appropriate person, perhaps at work, that I can debrief with and then leave the situation there. Certainly there's things that I still think of or analyze, how could I have done it better? Is there something I could have done differently? Is there a resource that maybe I didn't offer or something I could learn about? Because I think we're all lifelong learners. But spending time with family and friends, definitely the things you mentioned earlier is my hobbies. You can see the piano behind me. I'm trying to learn how to play piano. Lots of different things just to have fun and enjoy each day and make each day as great as it can be.
Yes. So people, you hear it. Make each day as great as it can be. This is a day that we are living in. We don't know about tomorrow. Yesterday has really passed, and it's yesterday problem we take over, or the problem that we're having today. But remember that we have positive things going on in our lives, because once we are not dead, we are here, and we need to do something about our lives. Join us next week, Monday at 6:30, same time, Central Daytime, and Impact Gospel Radio. Mental health, a holistic impact. And we thank you, Leslie Blair, for being here with us. We are going to sign off.
Impact Gospel Radio and Mental Health Horizon. All information posted or aired is merely for educational purposes and is not a substitute for seeking further professional advice. While the information aired has been verified to the best of our abilities, we cannot guarantee there are no mistakes or errors. We reserve the right to change this policy at any time. If you want to stay up to date with the latest mental health information, please visit our website at www.mentalhealthhorizon.com, book an appointment at info@mentalhealthhorizon.com, or tune into the broadcast every Monday evening at 6:30 p.m. Central Daylight Time.